It's a beautiful day here at Consol Energy Park in Washington, Pennsylvania, where the California Vulcans are going to be greeting the visiting Mercyhurst Lakers in PSAC West baseball action. Alongside of Zach Lamar, my name is Cody Jeanette. We are delighted that you could be with us today on this wonderful day for baseball, Zach. And yesterday, California was able to sneak away from Mercyhurst with a split doubleheader.
Yeah, going to Mercyhurst and playing a tough Lakers team. The first contest, Dan Altavia for Mercyhurst came away with a win. 12 strikeouts in that contest. He leads the team with 70 on the year. California had a tough test there. Mercyhurst scored 6 runs in the first inning. California able to crawl back a little bit, but a late rally fell a little bit short. They had bases loaded, not able to come through. In the second game, Jack Dennis, a complete game shutout victory, 4-0 over the Lakers. He allowed only 2 hits. California getting some momentum, coming back home, looking to maybe take one more or possibly even sweep the Lakers out of Consol Energy Park.
Yeah, and if they do get the sweep, they'll manage to win the season series 3-4. And then whenever you take a look at the season as the whole, up to this very point, California has been doing very well, boasting a great overall record.
Yeah, California 19-14 coming into this one, 7-9 in conference. Like to see that record improve a little bit as playoffs start to approach. They're still in it right now, and you have a couple newcomers, Seton Hill, UPJ in the fold. They have a 285 average on the year, 370 on base percentage, and a 342 staff ERA, which is pretty good when you have a lot of good hitting teams in the PSAC. And then looking at Mercyhurst, they are 19-9, 11-5 in conference. I believe they are second now after a couple recent wins. They are hitting 302 on the year. That's a very good clip for this team. 422 on base, 316 team RA. Their opponents, though, a 660 ERA, and you saw that yesterday, 6 runs in the first inning. That's where they make their mark. Good offense and hitting timely.
Yeah, Mercyhurst, as you mentioned, is one of those powerhouse offensive teams in the PSAC West Division. California is going to have a tough matchup cut out for them. For our player to watch for California, you're going to need to keep an eye on the starting pitcher for today, Justin Taylor.
Yeah, Justin Taylor coming in a 4-3 record, a 368 ERA. He's also spotting a 3-1 strikeout to walk ratio, averages out to about 32-11 over on the total year. He has 4 complete games on the year. So California, Coach Conti has been able to rely on his workhorse for 7 innings or even longer sometimes this year. Get the job done on the mound. Looking at Mercyhurst, Hank Morrison, hitting 260 on the year. He had 3 RBIs yesterday in Mercyhurst's 6-run first inning, 21 coming into the contest. But Mercyhurst, they have a lot of pitchers and a lot of hitters. Their leading hitter is hitting 382 on the season. So it's hard to pinpoint just one guy for the Lakers to look at today.
68 degrees, blue skies here at Consol Energy Park. Vulcans versus Lakers. Sounds like a perfect day for baseball to me. First pitch is next on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to Consol Energy Park in Washington, Pennsylvania on a beautiful day for baseball, where the visiting Mercyhurst Lakers will be in town to take on the California Vulcans in a PSAC West divisional matchup. Once again, alongside of Zach Lamar, my name is Cody Jeanette. We're so thankful you could be with us here today, Zach, and the Vulcans are just taking the field already. Mercyhurst's first batter is about to step up to the plate. What are our starting lineups like?
Well, we'll start with Mercyhurst, who is going to bat first as the away team. We'll start Joe Pantano, who is playing shortstop. Siegel playing center field. Cox at third base. Popillo, designated hitter. Jake Marinelli, the catcher, batting fifth. Saia playing left field, batting sixth. Hank Morrison, our player to watch, batting seventh, playing first. Thomas Sohn playing right field, batting eighth. And then Martinez batting ninth and playing second base. And the pitcher for the Lakers today is Joe Nyashinsky, number 19. Of course, designated hitters in college ball. We will not be seeing him until the bottom of the first. We'll go ahead. California, their defensive lineup. You have Fennell at third base or in left field. Zorowski at short. Marcus at first. Carson in center. Gasty in right. Yorgel at catching. Morales at second base. Mitko is the designated hitter for Justin Taylor, today's starting pitcher.
We're seeing Pantano step up to the plate. We are moments away from first pitch. Pantano, the shortstop, he's a right-hander, will be stepping into the dish for the first pitch of the game. 68 degrees, blue skies, and we are underway with a line drive to right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Pantano stops at first base, and first pitch of the game, we see a leadoff single.
And Pantano on the year hitting 276. 27 hits coming in the contest. First pitch swinging, getting contact right on the ball, driving it to right center field. And with the turf field, a lot more bounces and not rolling towards the wall with a lot of speed. Pantano staying at first.
Ryan Siegel in the plate now shows a bunt, but pulls it back. Takes a called strike. It is 0-1.
And that was a strike. I actually did not see the strike call, so good eyes right there, Cody. It's hard to see the numbers from the scoreboard where we were sitting. The sun's kind of right there, but Taylor getting ahead in the count here. So we're going to get time. Looks like Siegel was trying to lay a bunt down, but pulled it back at the last second.
Pulling back and getting the Pantano, the leadoff man, to second base. Here's the next pitch. It is a fly ball curving left. That will hook foul and out of play. The count is 0-2.
And Taylor right now, he's hitting a lot of bats. Luckily that one went foul. Left fielder, or he's playing well off the line. We talked to Coach Conti. He loves playing no doubles. Playing off the line there, you hit one down the line, that could be a double anyways.
Throw to first, and Pantano makes it back standing safely. Justin Taylor keeping an eye on him. Once again takes his lead, and Taylor sets. The next pitch delivered, and is a swing ground ball to second base. 4-6-3 on the twin kill. 2 outs in the top of the first.
And that was a beautiful double play right there. Bouncing ball to second base. Starting the 4-6-3 double play. That one was started by Giovanni Morales, then went to Zorowski all the way over to Marcus, getting the twin kill right there. We're going to see Cox come up to the plate now with 2 outs.
Brendan Cox, another right-hander, sets to face Taylor. The first pitch is taken high for ball 1.
That is the first ball Taylor has thrown today. Really been a free swinging Mercyhurst team so far.
The second pitch is taken for a called strike. Taylor jumps back ahead of the count. It is 1-1. Taylor sets and delivers. The pitch is fouled away way far off to the right side onto the roof of the concession stand over there. Hopefully no one gets punked with that one, and Taylor gets a new ball. The count is 1-2.
And right here, you like to see maybe a waste pitch, high fastball, away curve.
And you do see something like that as there's a ground ball to shortstop. Throw on over to first, and they get the out. 3 up and 3 down to start the top of the first. A great start by Justin Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor, he let up the early hit, the first pitch of the game. Contact being made from Mercyhurst, and we talked about that before. They are a very good hitting team. They're putting the ball in play. California's defense doing a good job. Right now on the year, California, their fielding percentage, I will find it right now, 96%. That's pretty good. Mercyhurst about 97%. So both these teams not letting up a lot of errors. As we're going to get to California's batting order right now. You're going to have Fennell batting first, then Orr, Zorowski, Marcus cleaning it up. Carson, Gasty, Yorgel, Mitko, the designated hitter, and Morales rounding it out for the Vulcan 9, facing Joe Nyashinsky. who on the year, Joe Nischinski 3-0, a 1.93 ERA. He has a complete game, only let up 24 hits in 28 innings, so likes to miss a lot of bats. He has 25 strikeouts, 13 walks as well, though. So California maybe stay patient in the count, maybe get some more pitches to hit, drive him in between the gaps. Hard to tell. The defensive alignment for Mercyhurst is not set up yet, but California plays no doubles. Mercyhurst, they may play a different style. Drive it in the gaps, get some long singles, maybe some doubles. And California, Coach Conti urged this to us when we talked to him pregame. They love to steal bases. They do not hit and run because they are 66 out of 73 in their stolen base attempts this season. And here, it's going to be hard to find even a major league team that does that well running the bases.
Yeah, Coach, that was one of the main points that Coach Conti was telling us about, that the Vulcans, they're a very fast club. That once they get on base, you got to keep an eye out on them because you could easily get second base or third base swiped. And we're going to see the first batter for the Vulcans step in. That is Mick Fennell, the third baseman for today's game. Fennell is a left-handed batter going against the right-handed Mercyhurst pitcher. So it's a righty versus lefty matchup.
Fennell hitting .316 on the year, 4 triples to lead the team. California has 13 triples total on the year.
Sets and delivers. First pitch is taken for
It was
a ball, I believe.
That's actually a strike.
Called strike.
It's hard to tell. The umpire's not really giving a big notification of the strike. He's just kind of leaning up with that one.
Second pitch is grounded to the second baseman. And the throw onto first for the putout, 4-3. Mick Fennell is down. And we're going to see the next batter, John Orr, step up to the plate.
We'll get to Orr's statistics in a minute. Hitting .263, 3 RBIs on the year. Oh, he has 10 hits and 38 at-bats. Only played in 15 games, so getting a spot start here. Started 13 of those 15, but a lot of injuries this team for California this year.
Nischinski, sets and delivers the first pitch for a ball. The count is 1-0. Another left-handed hitter for the Vulcans near the top of the order. Sets, delivers, and the second pitch is taken for a called strike. It is 1-1.
And Nischinski locating around the zone pretty well so far. I've seen him in a lot of corners on the outside part of the plate against these left-handed hitters.
Nischinski delivers that one. That's taken just a little bit outside for ball 2. Count is 2-1.
And this is a good hitter's count. You look for something, maybe a fastball down the middle, trying to even the count. If you're Orr, maybe look for that fastball. You don't get it, don't swing. You can still fight back.
John Orr takes that pitch for ball 3. So now Nischinski finds himself in a little bit of trouble here with the third ball called on him.
And this is basically, in my mind, the similarity to a 3-0 count. You got to get a fastball here, establish the part of the plate, get back to even on the count.
Next pitch is taken for a called strike. Now the count is full. Nischinski will be setting, ready to deliver the 3-2 pitch to John Orr. And that pitch is taken for a called strike 3. Looked like it might have gotten to the inside corner, so John Orr goes down on strikes looking. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
And it's hard to tell exactly what kind of pitches he's throwing out there. We don't have a miles per hour radar out there on a scoreboard like some major league stadiums do, but it looked like it might have been a change, not just a normal fastball, because it kind of looked like it had some dip down the inside corner, like you said, Cody, and it might have just hung him up there, looking for a fastball with a 3-2 count, just get hung up on the change right there.
So John Orr goes on record for the first strikeout of the game. Justin Taylor did not have one in the top of the first, and Zarowski takes a ball inside. Count is 1-0.
A very wide open stance from Zarowski, putting that right leg out there in a check swing.
Checks his swing, gets the strike call. It is 1-1.
And a half-hearted swing right there, just a little too late trying to decide not to swing at it, kind of already put the bat out there. Luckily that didn't make contact and just roll it right out to the pitcher.
The next pitch is set and delivered for another called strike. Zarowski finds himself 1 strike away from a strikeout. It's 1-2.
I'd look maybe for that change again. He also put a looper up there before it bounced into the dirt. Try and get Zarowski to chase it here in a 1-2 count. You got a lot of time to work with in the pitch count.
This pitch is grounded to shortstop. The throw on over to first for the third out. And the 3 up, 3 down for the Vulcans as well. That we are scoreless after 1 inning of play. Stay tuned for the rest of the remaining action between the Lakers and the Vulcans on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
The Vulcans have taken the field for the top of the 2nd inning. We are still scoreless here in Game 1 between the Mercyhurst Lakers and the California Vulcans. Justin Taylor goes onto the mound to face batters 4, 5, and 6 of the Mercyhurst lineup. Due up will be Popio, Marinelli, and Saia.
Popio leading it off, hitting .370 on the year, 30 out of 81 total, 22 RBIs to his credit.
Popio squares to bunt but pulls it back. And he takes the pitch for a ball. The count is 1-0.
Taylor, you'd like to see him maybe avoid some bats this inning. A lot of contact from Mercyhurst in the top of the 1st.
That pitch is swung on and fouled back. Taylor will get a new ball, and the count is now 1-1. Taylor sets and delivers to the designated hitter for Mercyhurst. Popio thought about swinging, but didn't go all the way around, so he takes it for a ball. It's 2-1.
That's one of those eye-high fastballs that hitters, they think it looks good coming in, but have to decide not to swing at it at the last second as we get another called strike.
Popio now sees a 2-strike situation as the next pitch from Taylor gets lined into center field, almost caught by the shortstop, but it falls in for a base hit. Popio once again gets Mercyhurst a leadoff hit in the inning.
And great try right there by Zarowski. He's slow to get up, kind of leaning over right below the outfield line. He's up right now, moving around, probably just frustrated with himself that he didn't get to that one. I'm sure we had a replay of it on the screen. It's hard for us to see it, though, because it's completely right in the sun. We cannot tell. But we're going to see Marinelli come up with a runner to lead off the inning again for the Lakers.
Marinelli sets, squares to bunt, and he gets the bunt down right back to Taylor. Taylor throws onto second base. They get the force out there, so they manage to get the lead runner on the failed sacrifice bunt attempt.
And that was a lucky bounce for Taylor right there. The turf field, I think, is what really kind of hurt that bunt right there. Getting it down on the ground, it bounces right to the pitcher. He's able to turn right around, just throw it back to second base for the easy out.
Now setting in is Giancarlo Saia. He swings and misses at Taylor's first pitch, for strike one. Count is 0-1.
Saia hitting .317, 2 homers, 27 ribbies on the year. And every time I hear Giancarlo, I'm thinking Stanton, but he's on the left side and probably not as big of a power hitter just yet into his career.
Taylor's second pitch is taken for a ball on the outside part of the plate. The count is 1-1. Taylor sets. He's ready to deliver to Saia. That pitch is up high and a little bit away. Count is 2-1. Marinelli over at first base, takes his lead, and Taylor throws it back over to first and gets back in plenty of time.
And not a real traditional pickoff move, just kind of a, hey, I know you're there kind of move from Taylor, making sure he keeps the runner honest.
This next pitch is a swing and a miss. Count is 2-2 on Giancarlo Saia.
And Saia swung and missed at 2 pitches now from Taylor. I don't know if they're the exact same pitch, but maybe you go back to that, throw it in the dirt, see if we'll chase it down there, maybe get a ground ball out of it.
Justin Taylor sets, delivers, then Saia stays alive, fouling that pitch back. Count remains at 2-2. Marinelli is forced to go back to first base. And even though Marinelli's at first base, it was Popio that got the leadoff single in the inning, but he got thrown out at second on the sacrifice bunt attempt by Marinelli. Taylor sets and delivers, and that pitch is fly ball into left field, and that is going to drop for a base hit. So Saia gets on base and moves Marinelli over to second.
That one right there, that is Orr in left field, not able to track it down. Looked like he stopped a little prematurely. I thought if he kept running at the pace he was going, he might have been able to get it. Runner only going halfway, so probably wouldn't have had a force play at first, but I think Orr right there had a better chance than he gave himself credit for. Maybe lost it in the sun, because the sun's right above left field at his vantage point.
Hank Morrison gets set, our player to watch for Mercyhurst. He takes ball one. The count is 1-0.
This is already the fourth batter Taylor's facing in the inning. 2 runners on with only 1 out.
Taylor sets and delivers, swing and a miss. For strike one, the count is 1-1. Justin Taylor definitely does not want to let the opportune out of Hank Morrison slip away from him as he gets in a little bit of a jam now. Next pitch is inside for ball 2. The count is 2-1.
And we were talking to Coach Conti. Looked like he might have tried to go in a front door slider right there, just dipped too far down into the inside corner on the plate.
Taylor sets, delivers, a little bit of chin music there for ball 3. And now Taylor finds himself behind in the count, 3-1.
And Morrison right now, I would look fastball because you don't want to walk this guy, get the bases loaded, get a fastball over the plate. Maybe Morrison can do something with it.
Morrison actually did not have the green light there, and he takes a called second strike, so now the count is full.
And be aware, the runners, it's not 2 outs. 3-2, 2 outs, you would automatically run. 1 out, you might send them anyways, try and get in advance on a ball here on the ground.
The runners do not go. Hank Morrison swings and misses. That is Justin Taylor's first strikeout of the game. So now Taylor will be set to face Anthony Thomasone.
He is the right fielder for Mercyhurst. On the year, Thomasone hitting right at 300. He has 6 RBIs to his credit. Maybe a good chance to get one more here.
First pitch fouled way back over top of the bleachers and out of the ballpark, actually. The count is 0-1.
And we're seeing Taylor, he's getting a lot more misses and late contact swings from the Lakers this inning. You saw him blow a fastball right by Morrison in the previous at-bat.
Taylor set and delivers. The pitch is taken for called strike 2. The count is 0-2 now on Thomasone.
It looked like a fastball right there that just hung inside, would have jammed Thomasone. If he swung at that, would have been an easy loop grounder to the infield.
Taylor sets, delivers, the runners still do not go, and Thomasone strikes out swinging. That is Taylor's second strikeout of the game. 2 hits, 2 left on base, and the Vulcans will be changing sides and getting ready to bat.
And in between innings here, Cody, we're going to go ahead and look at the PSAC West standings. In front right now is newcomer Seton Hill, but that should not be a surprise at all. They were picked to finish first in the division this year. They've made 4 straight NCAA tournaments. They are 13-1 in division, 26-9 overall. Mercyhurst in second, 11-5, 19-9 overall. Then Slippery Rock and Pitt Johnstown, 3-4. California finds himself in 5th place right now, 7-9 in the division, 19-14 overall. IUP right behind them though, 6-10. Gannon even still in it. So the PSAC West is a very crowded bunch in spots 3 through really 7. Any amount of those teams could get into the playoffs and have a chance to fight for the PSAC championship. And Seton Hill, in my opinion, has to be the favorite just because of how well they've done so far. But tournament time comes, being in a new atmosphere. A lot of these teams have a lot of veteran players. You don't know what can happen in a new environment.
Joe Nasinski takes his spot on the mound for the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Vulcans are David Marcus Ben Carson and Chuck Gasty. David Marcus, the lefty first baseman, and Coach Conti definitely spoke highly of him whenever we were talking to him before the game started. He looks for him to break through here in this game.
Hitting .337, 24 RBIs, and from the left side of the plate, that's a lot of good production from your first baseman, who a lot of teams look to be either a very good contact hitter with some power or a big power guy with some contact in there as well as he takes ball one.
Marcus takes the first pitch outside for ball one. The count is 1-0. Nasinski from the windup delivers, and the ground ball sneaks through past the second baseman. Is a base hit for David Marcus, and that is California's first hit of the game. David Marcus on first base.
Marcus, like I said, hitting .337 left side of the plate, getting the smooth left-handed swing. A lot of baseball analysts love left-handed swings, which are a lot smoother, get a more line drive swing out of it, going right in between second and first into right field.
So now this is the first time of the game we'll get to see the speed of the Vulcans with Marcus on base, the threat to steal, and Nasinski is aware of it. Throws it to first base on a pickoff attempt, but Marcus gets back safely.
And Marcus 1 for 1 in stolen base opportunities this year. Rare to see a first baseman with a lot of steal opportunities on the year.
And Carson squares to bunt, but he takes the ball back, or the bat back, excuse me. Takes the pitch for ball one.
Carson on the year, .286. He has 11 sack bunts in 11 attempts, so good at getting the ball down on the ground and advancing the runner.
Squares to bunt, but pulls it back once again. Good eye there by Ben Carson. The count is 2-0.
And Nashinsky just rushing a fastball up there high in the plate, maybe get the bat under it, pop it up, and make an easy out for the catcher or the pitcher and catch Marcus running towards second base, pick him off again.
Nasinski from the stretch delivers. The bunt goes down. It sneaks up the first base side past Nasinski, and Ben Carson is safe at first base on the bunt. It seemed like it was a very solid bunt, and it took a fortunate bounce away from the pitcher and away from first base at the same time.
Yeah, usually when a bunt goes to second base like that, it's called a push. You're literally pushing the ball off the bat, getting it towards second base, because the second baseman's going to start running, or second, the pitcher and first baseman run after it. But right there, just a soft bunt. It bounced on that turf. The turf is really what's coming in the key today, because you get the bounces off that and it zooms into the infield. And the pitcher, Nashinsky, not able to catch up with it. Carson now setting up first and second, no outs.
Vulcans are setting up shop here. In the dish now is Chuck Gasty. He takes that pitch, and the count is 1-0.
It's actually 0-1.
Or 0-1, I beg your pardon, excuse me.
It was a foul bunt. The scoreboard yet to operate, and you're looking down your scorecard, but Gasty on the year, look up right now, he's 4 sack bunts in 5 attempts, so he did foul one off right there, trying to get the runners over to second and third.
That bunt goes foul as well, so the count is 0-2 now on Gasty. There are still no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless here, Lakers versus Vulcans.
And this is a curious situation. Do you keep the bunt on if you're Coach Conti and try and risk the fact that if you bunt it foul again, you strike out, or do you let the guy swing, maybe take a couple pitches and get one into the zone?
We're about to find out here as Nasinski sets, delivers, and Gasty takes that pitch for ball one. The count is 1-2. It looked like he wanted to swing, but manages to keep a good eye on it and take the pitch.
So we do see the bunt is off. The third and first baseman are still in, though, wary of a possible drag bunt situation. Try and run it out, maybe get a single out of it, or even worse, get the sacrifice.
Next pitch is set, and it's a fly ball to center field. It's under it, makes the catch. There's one out in the bottom of the second.
And off the bat, that ball looked to be soaring a lot farther than when the center fielder was, but when we talked to Coach Conti, I keep saying that, but we talked to him for maybe a good 20 minutes before a game, and he mentioned he switched from BSR bats, which are pure aluminum, give a lot of pop to the ball, to BB Core, BBCOR. And when I played down in Georgia, we had to use those my senior year. They're more like a metal bat that had the qualities of a wood bat in the major leagues. They'll slow down the ball off the bat, still give a little pop, but not as much straight off of the contact.
So Joe Yorgel will get his chance now. He swings and misses at the first pitch. Still runners at first and second. It is Marcus at second and Carson at first. There's one out. The count is 0-1. Nasinski sets, delivers. Another high fly ball flying towards right field. Right fielder is under it, and he makes the catch. So now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
And Marcus crept off second base trying to fake the tag, but honestly, from my vantage point, I was looking at Marcus. He left before he caught the ball, so it's kind of good that he decided not to go, because Mercyhurst had the argument that they would be able to throw that ball to second base and get Marcus out. That would have ended the inning for California.
Now at the plate for the Vulcans is Chris Mitko. He gets his chance. He takes the first pitch. It is ball 1. Count is 1-0.
Mitko hitting 192 on the year. Only played in 19 games, 7 starts. Gets 4 RBIs, and 269 slugging percentage as well.
Basinski sets, delivers. Mitko takes that pitch for a called strike. Count is back even at 1-1.
That was a good pitch by Nashinsky. I think Mitko's looking fastball, just threw up the looper right there, going across the zone, froze Mitko in the batting box. Not able to get a good swing on it.
That pitch sends the bat flying all the way to the third base coach's box. Mitko had a little bit of greasy fingers there, but luckily everybody's okay. The bat didn't hit anybody, so.
And what I love, though, Cody, is Coach Conti over in the third base box. That bat's coming right at him. He doesn't even flinch. He just watches that come at him and says, that's not going to hit me. Nothing's going to happen there. And we already noticed the first base and third base coaches wearing the protective helmets. That's a rule across all of baseball now. And just staring that bat down as it fell right at his feet.
So the count 1-2 now on Mitko. He grounds this ball to first base. And he'll keep it for himself for the putout, and that is the 3rd out. So the Vulcans get 2 hits, but leave 2 men on base. After 2 innings, we are still scoreless here. Lakers versus Vulcans. Stay tuned for the 3rd inning here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Welcome back to California Vulcans baseball coverage at Consol Energy Park. And if you're hearing my voice, don't worry. We're switching up duties a little bit right now, doing play-by-play. Cody switching over to color for innings 3, 4, and 5. 6 and 7 will be back to where we started. We're going to see Martinez come up for his first at-bat for the Lakers against Justin Taylor.
2 up for Mercyhurst will be Martinez, and then we'll see the top of the order with Pantano and Siegel.
And first pitch, a high fly ball towards right field. That one is caught for the first out of the 3rd inning. A quick out, and that's 2 innings now that Taylor has had the first pitch he's thrown in the inning. Scooted out. The first one was for a hit by Pantano, who's coming up right now. That one for an out.
Anthony Tomasone, the man out in right field for the Vulcans. Or excuse me, that's Mercyhurst right fielder. Bigger pardon, I was looking at the wrong side of my roster. Chuck Gasty's the one in right field for the Vulcans. He's easily able to make that catch.
Pantano coming up. First pitch, he had a single. Last time he was up, and that one's taken for a ball on the inside corner.
Pantano last inning had a first pitch single, as you said, Zach.
Oh, and right back to the pitcher. Taylor able to stay with it and throw out Pantano. A nice play right there. Taylor showing no signs of a limp or being injured or anything. That's always good to see with those comebackers right to the mound.
It hit what they call the sweet spot of the glove, where it's not necessarily on the palm, but or on the wrist per se, or on the fingers where it can throw the arm back and throw your elbow out. But it hit a very soft spot in the glove where a lot of fielders like to catch line drives like that.
We're going to see Siegel come up now. He takes ball one. Taylor looking for his first, technically 1-2-3 inning, and try and get a quick inning out of this one. He's had 4 complete games on the year, keep his pitch count down. That one taken for a strike, little outside and high. Siegel, he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play the first time up in the first inning.
And that was after Pantano's leadoff single.
This one grounded to third. That's Fennell with it. Throws on to first, and that is the third out of the inning. So the Vulcans getting a quick 1-2-3 in order there from Taylor. We're going to look at team leaders in just a second for both of these teams, and we're going to look at the replay first, though, Cody. This is the play to third base, and Fennell throwing it over the first.
Yeah, Fennell is a very good windup, because that distance from third base to first base isn't necessarily the shortest distance in the world. They have to put a lot of power behind those throws.
And look at our team leaders, and the one that really stands out there, Zorowski, leading the team in hitting. He's at about 360-ish, or yeah, 368 on the year. It's hard to see our monitor right now because of the sun right there. You got a couple tied home runs in one. Peters, he is not playing today, though. He has the 27 RBIs to lead the team.
And to me, RBI is probably one of, if not the most important statistic in baseball, because if you don't have any runners batted in, you're not going to score any runs or win any games. So next to on-base percentage and then actually scoring the runs, getting the runs batted in is very important, because when a lot of people think hitting, they think instantly, oh, batting average. But the RBIs is definitely a very important stat to look at, too.
We're going to see leading off for the Vulcan second baseman Giovanni Morales, who has missed a couple games in the past week or so due to a concussion. He is back in the lineup today, batting ninth. He takes the first pitch across the plate for a strike, down 0-1.
Jasinski getting ahead of the count very early. That's what he's wanted to do with every single batter he's faced.
Now this one, a line drive towards center. That one is caught. Looked like it was starting to tail towards the center fielder as he was running after it in between the gap in left and right. Or left and center, excuse me.
So now we are going to see the top of the order for the Vulcans.
Mick Fennell, the third baseman, who just made the third out. In the top of the third inning, he grounded out to second base, his first time up at the plate. Now this one grounded to second again. Second baseman there, able to throw it on for the easy out. That was Martinez. Second time he's gotten Fennell in this contest.
And on that play, I really hope you were paying attention, because that was one of the best examples of exactly how high these baseballs can bounce on this infield. It's an all-turf field, and it's probably something that not a lot of these baseball players are used to, but the ball can take some very high bounces. It's almost as if it's on a trampoline sometimes. It's not going to take those low bounces like you would see on dirt and grass.
We have Orr up. He takes the first pitch for a strike, and that's a great point that you made, Cody. This is the first time I've ever seen an all-turf field. The closest I've ever seen is Toronto, where they have all-turf and then dirt in the infield, but that's it. This one grounded towards second base, right back up the middle. Martinez able to throw it on to first for the final out. And when we come back, the Lakers looking to get on the board, has some crooked numbers up out there. It's still a 0-0 game as we go to the fourth on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And we are back to Vulcan baseball coverage at Consol Energy Park. Justin Taylor about to take the mound, and we just got clarification that Taylor, 36 pitches through 3 innings of work, so that's average about to 12 an inning. If I'm a pitching coach, I like to see maybe 15 an inning. That's the kind of bases I like to go at and get you deep into the game.
Third baseman, number 17, Brendan Cox.
Due up for Mercyhurst will be Brendan Cox, Dan Popio, and Jake Marinelli. Brendan Cox in the first inning, I beg your pardon, grounded to the shortstop, and then it wasn't until the second inning when Popio got the leadoff base hit. So Popio definitely more of a threat here.
Now that one is inside on the plate for a strike, getting the fastball by Cox. Cox fouls this one off out towards the stands. It now puts the count at 1-2. We've seen Taylor today in 1 and 2 counts, sometimes go to the sharp slider, maybe zoom a fastball by you. He has a lot of heat, maybe the best heat on the Vulcan team. And now a pop-up, Zarowski running after it, able to make the over-the-shoulder catch, and that is out number 1. Or actually, excuse me, that one was not an out. I thought I could see Zarowski catch it from my vantage point, but that one dropped in. I guess that's why Zarowski threw it in so fast. I honestly thought he caught that one from the way it looks right here.
I did too. The angle was kind of awkward, but making me change my scoreboard now, are you, Zach?
Yeah, at least you're writing it in pencil. I'm writing mine in pen. I hadn't written it down yet, so now we're talking like the old broadcasters who kind of have troubles working the books sometimes, as that bunt goes foul along the first baseline.
Yeah, just barely went foul, and I thought that he had a shot of catching that one, but it dropped just right in front of him. Didn't quite get a good jump off of the bag, covering for a possible pickoff attempt.
Yeah, that was Marcus. He really has to jump right back off the pickoff attempt to try and get into the position for a bunt grounder. As we see Popio now swinging away, fouls one back, and the count is quickly 0-2 with Cox at first base. Cox, his first time up, grounded out to the shortstop, so this is his first time on. Popio had a single, maybe move the runner over. Still no runs yet in this contest. All right, high fastball trying to get Popio to chase is Taylor. Count moves to 1-2. And I think this is the perfect count to see maybe Cox runs on this one, because 1-2, you might get another waste pitch, maybe get a curveball, a slider in there.
See what Justin Taylor has up his arsenal as he throws to first base for a pickoff attempt. But yeah, you're right. You want to be able to fool the batter with your pitches. You don't want to expect them to expect anything. And Taylor definitely has enough weapons up his sleeve to keep the hitter guessing.
Taylor, that one almost skids by the face of Popio, taken for another ball, 2-2. Like you said before in the game, some chin music. And now Taylor, the one thing that hurts him, and Coach Conti said this before, the high leg kick. He does not use the sidestep to go to the plate. That one fouled off by Popio, trying to stay alive in the count. Looked like he flailed his bat out there just a little too early on the off-speed pitch. Excuse me. And the count remains 2-2.
Yeah, going off of what you said about the sidestep, it's the most important thing to stop a runner from stealing is the amount of time it takes for the ball to travel from the pitcher to the plate and then from the plate to second base. If you can limit that on your stretch, then that'll really help you out.
Now another fastball taken high. It's now full count, 3-2. Runner on first base, still no outs. So Taylor gonna try and work out of a jam here and try and make sure there aren't 2 runners on.
There he goes.
And that is ball 4. So Popio now getting on base with the walk. Like you said, Cox was going. Worst case, fly ball, you stop, you go back. And of course, unless you line into a double play, I'll play MLB The Show sometimes and do that run. And guy will line one right to the shortstop and then tag me out. And I'm like, really? Why you got to do that? Why does that have to happen? We're going to see Marinelli come up now, the catcher. He reached on a fielder's choice last time. He tried a sac bunt, went right back to Taylor, went to second base for the out.
Yeah, that was on a sacrifice bunt attempt by Marinelli. So we'll see. It looks like he's going to square again.
Another sac attempt, like you said. This one goes foul. Count now 0-1 with 2 runners on, no outs. This is really the first distress Taylor has faced all game, because in the second inning when Papio reached on a leadoff single, he got the out. He still had 1 out before there were 2 runners on. Then he came back with 2 strikeouts. Now he doesn't have any outs with 2 guys on.
Not to mention there was a lot of good fielding in the top of the first 2, Zach.
And now a missed bunt right there by Marinelli. He chased a fastball well low in the zone, and now an 0-2 count. We'll see if he maintains the bunt. Does he pull it back, maybe try and drive one to the opposite side of the field towards right and advance the runners?
And with no outs and 2 guys on, it wouldn't surprise me if he takes the risk to lay the bunt down.
Not doing so, and takes high for ball 1. And this seems to be the problem that Taylor is having. He's not able to keep ahead of the count. He'll have it 1-2, 0-2, and he tries to finesse his way around the zone a little bit too much. Now that one hits Marinelli, and
ouch.
He has loaded the bases. And ouch is right. That was a fastball right on the arm near the bicep. At least that's a tender area. We're going to see Conti come out and talk to the umpire right now. Maybe have an argument that one maybe grazed off the bat before it hit him. They don't have replay here like they do in MLB, but let's not even get started on that. There's been a lot of controversy so far with MLB replay, but the way it's going to stand, bases loaded, no outs, and we're going to have Saia come up. Saia on the year, hitting .317, 27 RBIs, 15 walks, 424 on base percentage. Doing a very good job of getting the runs in. We'll see right here.
And now there's no outs, and Cox is at third, Popio's at second, Marinelli at first. Last time Saia was at bat, he got a single, and he makes contact here, but fouls it off.
Saia with the bases loaded this year, 4 for 7, hitting .571. Not a very good situation if you're California. The numbers stack against you. Maybe you get an out right here, a double play, maybe just
trade
see
2
the
for
run.
1.
Exactly.
That's optimal for the Vulcans right now.
That one down and in. That is ball 1. It's a 1-1 count with the bases loaded. Giancarlo Saia, the left fielder for the Lakers, standing at the plate. Now this one grounded right back to Taylor, to the plate, on the first base, a double play. You could not ask for anything better right there, Cody, if you're the Vulcans. The defense playing off. Saia grounded right back to the pitcher. Taylor, a nice finesse move, getting it right back to the plate.
The 1-2-3 double play, that is probably the best double play you can get with no outs and the bases loaded. Pitcher to catcher to first, and now that leaves runners at second and third, but there's 2 outs now. So Taylor definitely has more wiggle room to work with and isn't in so much of a jam now.
And this is Hank Morrison, our player to watch. He takes ball 1. Like you said, Cody, this kind of lessens the wound. 2 outs instead of no outs, bases loaded still. Morrison will swing and miss on the fastball. Evens the count at 1-1. Morrison hitting .260 on the year, had 3 RBIs yesterday in the Lakers win. He fouls that one off, and it's back to a 1-2 count. We've seen Taylor so far this inning kind of finesse around the zone. I think right now you go right after Morrison. Get the guy out if you can. Another strikeout. He struck out his first time. Get back in the dugout and know that you were able to escape from a bases loaded, no out jam.
Hank Morrison likes to swing the bat. He struck out swinging his first time up. Both of Taylor's strikeouts have been swinging, and there it is.
And another strikeout, just like you said, Cody. That is 3 in the game, escaping a bases loaded, no out jam for the Vulcans. Taylor has to be fired up after that. We're going to look at a replay, I believe, of the double play. We'll look at it right now. Hard to see from our vantage point. As we get it going, ground ball right back to the pitcher. Taylor turns right around, and then the catcher throws it right back onto first base. That is your goal. California now, that might be some momentum that they need to maybe get a run of their own on the board.
Yeah, and due up for the Vulcans will be Zarowski, Marcus, and Carson. So the heart of the lineup due up for the Vulcans.
We have team leaders from Mercyhurst, the leading average Siegel at 382. That's a very good clip on the year. Saia leading in homers and RBIs 2 and 27 respectively. Not able to come through in that bases loaded opportunity though, where he was 4 for 7 on the year. Not able to get the job done. Altavia pitching wise has 70 strikeouts to lead the team. So Mercyhurst, there's a reason they're number 2 in the division right now. They are a very balanced team, a lot of offense, timely pitching. We've seen that so far from Yashinsky today as well, where he's just been able to get a lot of outs, only allowed 2 hits so far.
So we still remain scoreless. There's goose eggs all across the scoreboard on both sides here in the 4th inning. Going to the bottom of the 4th. Zarowski, last time he was at bat in the 1st inning, grounded into a shortstop to first base single play, not double play. It was just 1 put out. So Zarowski looking to get a retry here.
The first pitch taken inside for ball 1. Zarowski coming into the contest hitting 368 on the year. This is the guy you want up, followed by Marcus, your leading RBI man on the year if you're the Vulcans. Another ball here. It's now 2-0 to the shortstop. And, you know, Zarowski, he's a guy that is kind of a utility player. He used to play at Duquesne, where he was the starting shortstop, now coming here playing first, short, left, says Coach Conti as he takes another ball, 3-0. Or was it a strike? It says 3-0 on the scoreboard, so we'll have to see.
The umpire made a late gesture for a strike, so looks like it's 2-1.
That is a strike there. We'll have to see in a second. I'll keep it 3-1 now, but if he strikes out here, then we know that it was 2-2, and you had a good eye right there, Cody. That was strike 2, so it was 3-0 before, now it is 3-2. So, and it's very hard, Cody, to see the umpire signals. He's giving a lot of late and easy signals. It's not like he's yelling out the strikes.
Now Zarowski gets the leadoff walk, and Kaczynski got behind on him in the beginning. He started out 2-0, couldn't manage to catch back up in time in the count, and Zarowski showing great patience, not swinging it. I don't think he swung at a single pitch in that at bat. He just let Kaczynski pitch to him, and he ended up walking him.
And I would definitely expect Zarowski to be on the run here. He has 17 stolen bases and 18 attempts on the year. Marcus, you may see him fool the pitcher with a sac bunt opportunity and then pull it back as Zarowski runs to second. And a key trick that the Vulcans have, the turf. You slide on it, it's a lot faster. If you don't hook your arm on that bag, you're going to slide right off and get the out. The pickoff attempt is unsuccessful. Zarowski safe at first, but Coach Conti was saying that, Cody, you have to hook your arm on second base or third base when you're running back. Is another pickoff move, as Nyszynski knows Zarowski might be running.
Yeah, Nyszynski doesn't want to give him any freebie. He already gave him a freebie going to with the base on balls, and there's a third pickoff attempt. So he's definitely showing Zarowski, I'm keeping a close eye on you.
And I have just noticed the sun is moving right above us right now, Cody. I'm actually starting to feel my skin get a little tan and burn a little bit, so I know I'm going to be red off this. But like you said before the game, there's a strike right there, 0-1. This is our first time doing coverage for baseball for CUTV in 5 years, and you and I are both ecstatic about doing this. And you actually said, I wouldn't care if I got third-degree burns. I'd be happy about doing this.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Nothing brings me more joy than to be outside on a beautiful day like this, covering my favorite sport in the world. There he goes.
Oh, and a line drive right to third base. Nothing you can do about that as it's a double play. That's a big momentum killer. Marcus had great contact right on that one to the opposite field. The third baseman, that is Cox, just getting his glove right there, and then Zarowski just stopped at second knowing there's nothing he could do.
Zarowski didn't even bother trying to go back. He was already on the run, getting ready to steal, and it's just the wrong place at the wrong time for the ball being lined right to Cox.
We now have Carson up. He has 11 steals in the year, so if he gets on maybe another opportunity to run, he takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 with 2 outs. Carson grounds it right back to Nishinsky. A lot of great defensive pitcher plays today as that one goes to first base, and we have reached the end of the 4th, so a couple opportunities for both teams to score there. Don't come through. We're going to move on to the 5th now. Still nothing on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
We are back on CUTV, excuse me, as we have the 5th inning approaching, and Justin Taylor doing a very good job of trying to work around the Mercyhurst bats. Some timely defense as well, Cody, especially that 1-2-3 double play to get out of the bases loaded jam.
Tomasone, Martinez, and Patano all due up for Mercyhurst here in the top of the 5th. Last time up, Tomasone struck out swinging on an 0-2 pitch, so Taylor was able to get ahead of him early, and he squares the bunt here.
That one goes foul. It actually hit near the top of the foul screen, so that bunt, lucky that one probably didn't go fair. Could have been an easy pop out for Tomasone on the first pitch.
Justin Taylor on the day has 2 strikeouts. Or 3 strikeouts, I beg your pardon, excuse me.
Now another foul ball for Tomasone. Lands just outside the stands on the right side of the ballpark on your way into the establishment. And it's a beautiful ballpark here, Cody. This is my first time at Consol Energy Park. The Wild Things play here in the Frontier League over the summer, and an all-turf field. It's a very beautiful scene to have our first baseball coverage of the year. Another foul ball for Tomasone, still 0-2. And another thing to mention, Cody, professional softball coming. It will be the Rebellion. They will be playing their games at Consol Energy Park. Head coach Rick Bertinoli of the Cal U softball team will be the head coach. As that ball goes high, it's 1-2. But getting an area right here where there's a lot of supreme softball talent, having a pro team to come play for is a great opportunity.
And right here, Justin Taylor has a little bit of wiggle room to work against Tomasone. He has a 1-2 count right now. It's the leadoff batter of the inning. He got ahead of him 0-2 very early on, so you have to throw him something special, make him swing at something not optimal as he did right there for the strikeout.
And that is 4 strikeouts now, 2 each from Morrison and Tomasone, the only guys he's been able to fool so far with his pitch repertoire. As the first out, Daniel Martinez coming up now. He flew out to right field his first time.
And all of Justin Taylor's strikeouts have been swinging. These Mercyhurst players love to swing the bat. They refuse to go down looking.
That first pitch is taken for a strike. It is 0-1. Taylor Gets another ground ball right towards them. Not able to stop that one this time. I'm sure Mercyhurst would have liked that with the bases loaded. That as the ball gets right back into the infield as a single gets up the middle. And another run for the Lakers.
So that is Martinez's first hit of the game.
Top viewer for the Lakers, shortstop.
And if my math is serving me correctly, that is Mercyhurst's fourth hit of the game. Fifth hit of the game, I beg your pardon. Miscounting my tally marks here on my score sheet, but that is the fifth hit of the game, and Martinez's first. He flew out to right field last time.
And Pantano up right now. He has singled on the first pitch of the game and grounded out to the pitcher, but he's put really good contact on the ball both times. He has a 1-0 count right now, but you might see a line drive here from Pantano, maybe even get the runner to third if it's enough space there for Martinez to be able to scoot his way on.
You also got to keep in mind that this field is very fast. It will reach the outfielders very quickly, so he's going to have his work cut out for him if he goes to third base.
Now one right through shortstop and third base as the third baseman Fennell was kind of playing in for a bunt. If he was back, he might have had a chance at that one, but first and second again with only one out, and Taylor going to have to work out of another jam. He's found himself in a lot of these so far today.
And if Justin Taylor can get out of a bases loaded, no outs jam, then I'm sure Coach Conti has faith in him that he can get out of a 2 runners on 1 out jam.
We're going to have Siegel up right now for Mercyhurst. First pitch down and away for ball 1. Siegel so far grounded into a double play in the first, and he grounded out to the third baseman in the third inning.
Has yet to reach base safely in this game.
And now a single, and we're going to send the runner for Mercyhurst. The throw to the plate. Not going to be in time. It's cut off. Mercyhurst the first on the board as Martinez scoots his way around from second. Give the RBI to Siegel. It's a 1-0 ball game.
And Martinez is the one to score the run. Patano moves to second base, so once again the runners are at first and second. Siegel with the first RBI of the game to give Mercyhurst the first run of the game. It is now 1-0.
We have Brandon Cox come up now. He singled his last time up, 1 for 2 on the day. Still first and second, only 1 out. Maybe another double play here will help Taylor's cause as that one's down and away in the dirt for ball 1.
Brendan Cox was the victim of the first out at home plate during the 1-2-3 double play in previous innings.
That one fouled away. It is now 1-1. One's all over the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
And 1 run for Mercyhurst.
And 1 run for Mercyhurst. A good catch there. We're going to see Cox ready for the pitch. That one fouled away over towards right field, out of play. Now 1-2 count. And the last time that Cox was up, he had a 1-2 count, and he was able to get a single out of it. Maybe he could do the same here. Taylor had some trouble getting players out when he had himself a very good pitcher's count, trying to finesse around the zone, get some strikeouts, maybe just go right at the guy this time. Now a fly ball towards center field. The center fielder is there. Runner from second is tagging. Throw is cut off by Zarowski. So it'll be first and third with 2 outs. That will go down as a F8, a fly ball to center fielder. Pantano moves to third.
With 2 outs, that brings up the designated
Runners are at the corners now, and there's still 2 outs, so Papio stepping up to the plate. Papio walked last time he batted. So definitely Taylor's not going to want to repeat that, and then that would load the bases again. So Taylor will be going full force at Papio right now.
Papio 1 for 1. He has a single, also a walk like you said. Seen a lot of pitches today, getting deep into counts. That is ball 1. And you know, from our vantage point, Papio seems to be a little bit shorter than a lot of the players on his team. Maybe that helps his cause, a smaller strike zone, able to see a lot more pitches come into the zone. That one is in there for a strike. Papio thought about swinging that, did not, but it's in there anyways. 1-1 with 2 outs, runners at the corners.
Papio is the designated hitter for Mercyhurst this afternoon, and he's looking to fulfill that role of the designated hitter. batting for the pitcher getting the more, for sure, RBI.
That one on the inside corner, that is taken for a strike. Looked very inside, but still in there. 1-2 count. We'll see Taylor try to zoom a fastball by him, maybe get a slider or a changeup, catch him off guard, and keep him standing there for a strikeout.
He has a 1-2 count, plenty of room to work with.
And now we have the old fake to third base, try to go back to first base move, and that's actually illegal in Major League Baseball now, so make sure he doesn't do that if he ever reaches the pros one day, as that's lined to center field. Another single and another run for the Lakers. Papio comes through with an RBI.
Patano comes from third base to score, and Siegel advances to second base. So now we have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and now Mercyhurst has a 2-0 lead. California, 2-0 is definitely a manageable deficit. You know, it's not like the game is getting out of hand or anything, but Taylor giving up these 2 runs, I'm sure he definitely wanted to keep the game scoreless and allow his offense to score the first runs. But now this puts the pressure on the California bats to get them back into the game.
Marinelli is up now. He is grounded into a fielder's choice, and he was also hit by a pitch his last time as he takes ball 1 with 2 outs. That one fouled off, and that one hit the umpire, it looked like.
I was going to say, that hit something. That hit something.
We could hear from up here a loud thud as you see the not the grace really, but a common courtesy there, the catcher to walk out, give the umpire some time to recover. Is, you know, taking a foul ball right to the face mask, that surely has to hurt.
Yeah, it's definitely disorienting because a lot of the padding on the umpire's face masks and the catcher's face mask, it has come so far in recent years that it almost feels as if you're just getting smacked in the face with a pillow. But still, it's disorienting to have a ball come that fast and knock your face mask off.
That one is taken for ball 2. Marinelli, a 2-1 count with 2 outs, runners first and second. Saia is on deck. He grounded into the 1-2-3 double play with the bases loaded last time. That one fouled off, evens count 2-2 with 2 outs. Taylor trying to escape the inning.
Siegel at second base, Papio at first base, and as you said, Saia on deck, the team leader in RBIs and home runs. Always a big threat at the plate. Taylor would love to have him lead off next inning.
And he will as he gets the strikeout. That is his 5th of the day, escapes another jam, but not without Mercyhurst getting some runs on the board. It is 2-0 Mercyhurst as we're heading to the bottom of the 5th.
So taking a look at the stats ranking, Zach. You know, it's pretty lopsided for Mercyhurst in terms of batting. As we were mentioning in our open, they have stacked bats. They love to swing the bat and make contact. They're 4th as compared to 11th in average for California, and that's the one thing. And we saw it in this previous inning, getting their 2 runs on the board. California now has to play catch up, and
right now we're going to look at some of the replays from the top of the 5th. The 2 scoring plays, Cody, both singles for Mercyhurst.
Yeah, and this first one drove in Angel Martinez from third base as he was able to tag up, and that RBI was credited to Patano, or Siegel, I beg your pardon, and then Patano scored later on in the inning to give Mercyhurst the 2-0 lead. And that RBI was credited to Papio.
We are almost about ready for the bottom of the 5th. We're going to have Gasti lead it off for California. California only making their 2nd round through the batting order. Mercyhurst already in their 3rd trip around. They have 8 hits on the day. California still only with 2. I'd like to see a late charge right now from California. Try and get back in this one. Even 1 run here in this inning will help your cause.
Yeah, everybody for Mercyhurst in their batting order batted at least once in that inning except 2 players, Saia and Hank Morrison. Those are the only 2 players that did not bat last inning.
And now a fly ball from Gassi towards center field. That one taken in by Siegel. That is the first out on the first pitch of the inning.
Gasty flies out to center field, And now we're going to see Yorgel step up to the plate. He flew out to right field his last at bat. So Yorgel looking to make better contact here.
Number 28, Joe Yorgel.
California in general just looking to make some contact. They only have 2 hits on the day, like I said. That first pitch in there for a strike on the off speed. And those hits have come from Marcus and Carson, and they were both in the second inning, but nothing was able to come of them. Now another strike near the outside corner against Yorgel. He's down 0-2 now. Might see another off speed here, try and get him off balance at the plate. That one's just a bit outside. It's ball 1.
Now Nasinski's managing to work the count here, not letting him fall too far behind.
And Yorgel pops one up towards left field. That one, a nice sliding catch for Mercyhurst. That is Saia, so making up for the 1-2-3 double play, I guess, in a way. Getting some great defense there as we look at the replay.
Saia taking the charge. He's not letting up. He saw that that ball was all him, and he just barely manages to make it on its landing point, sliding in, making the catch. Wonderful play by Saia.
We have Chris Mitko up now for California, the designated hitter. Swings and misses at the first pitch, down 0-1. He grounded out to the first baseman his last time at the plate. Now a foul ball heading towards the Vulcans dugout, down 0-2. And we have to really give credit to Nashinsky right now for Mercyhurst. He's doing a great job of working around the Vulcan lineup. Only 1 strikeout on the day, but when they make contact, it's really not going anywhere.
But yeah, and on the contrary, the one advantage that the Vulcans have is that they are making contact. So it's not like they're coming up empty all the time and swinging and missing. They are making contact. It's only a matter of time before they manage to find a hole somewhere.
Now that one grounded foul towards third base, so we will do it all over again. 1-2 with 2 outs for Mitko. If he reaches, Giovanni Morales would be up. He flew out to center field his first time.
Mitko making some good contact, just needs to straighten it out, as they say. The coaches will always tell them to straighten it out, go into fair territory.
Mitko thought about swinging there, but wise to lay off as that curveball went down into the dirt and the catcher had to slide and grab it. 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitch now from Nashinsky. And a strikeout of Mitko as he strikes out swinging the second of the game for Nashinsky. That is it for the bottom of the 5th. When we come back, Cody Jeanette takes back over for play-by-play duties on CUTV. Lakers up 2-0.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Top of the 6th inning, Vulcans trail the Mercyhurst Lakers 2-0, and Justin Taylor is taking the mound once again for the Vulcans, getting ready to face hitters number 6, 7th, and 8th. Saia, Morrison, and Tomasone for the Lakers.
And Morrison and Tomasone have had their struggles against Taylor today. Saia has a single, also granted a 1-2-3 double play with the bases loaded. Try and get retribution for that now.
Taylor delivers his first pitch. It is ball 1, a little low and away from the plate. The count is 1-0.
And an advantage for the Vulcans. They at least get the chance to bat last in this one, as there's a ball 2-0. Or excuse me, that's a strike.
Justin Taylor unofficially is up to 83 pitches in this game. Pitch number 84 is grounded to third base, or flied out to third base, excuse me. Has a line drive right to third baseman. He makes the catch, and that is the putout.
And we'll look at the replay now, right off the bat of sight, going opposite field. Fennell, a little hop right there, right into the glove, and then able to throw it around the horn as they get the first out of the sixth.
So getting set in the dish is Hank Morrison. He's struck out twice today. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He takes ball 1 inside. The count is 1-0.
Morrison, our player to watch, really hasn't come through at the plate as he swings and misses again. They are not making a lot of contact on the pitches Taylor's going at either. So Morrison has kind of got Taylor in his head, maybe trying to think a little bit too much at the plate.
Taylor delivers that one, and that pitch is fouled back. Count is 1-2 on Hank Morrison. Morrison is our player to watch because in California's 6-4 loss to Mercyhurst at Mercyhurst in Game 1, he had 3 RBIs, and he foul tips that pitch into the catcher's mitt, so that's a fly out technically to the catcher on the strikeout.
It's actually a strikeout, so that will be the old hat trick there, a foul tip strikeout, and it's the third of the contest for Morrison, the second out. Thomasone maybe get his third strikeout here as well if Taylor trying to maybe look for it.
So it's a strikeout swinging for Morrison, and Thomasone getting set in the dish now.
Now it's ball 1 on the first pitch.
Taylor sets, delivers, and that pitch is fouled away. Count is 1-1. Justin Taylor, wind up, here's the pitch. The pitch is taken up high for ball 2. Taylor falling behind in the count, it is 2-1.
Thomasone has such a big crouch in his batting stance that one, a normal batter, might not be a ball. It could have been a strike, but now Thomasone gets hit with the pitch. That's the second of the game for Taylor.
And that is the that is his second person that has been hit by the pitch. The first one was Jake Marinelli in the 4th. So Taylor throwing those pitches a little too far inside as Thomasone gets the free pass on the hit by pitch.
And Martinez coming up now, 1 for 2. He has a single and a run scored. He was the first run of the game for the Lakers. Pantano on deck, really been the best hitter in my opinion for the Lakers today.
That pitch is taken on the inside corner for strike 1 on Martinez. Count is 0-1. Thomasone at first. Taylor delivers up high and inside for ball 1. The count is 1-1.
And Taylor's done a very good job of pitching today, but he's let a lot of guys on, and I think that's the problem we've seen so far from Taylor is the pitch is there.
And now this hit is flown out into right field, and right fielder makes the catch for the third out for Martinez. So now the Mercyhurst will have the top of their order due up in the 7th.
And for California in the bottom of the 6th, they're going to start with Morales, then go back to the top with Fennell and Orr. And if those 3 guys get out, you have the best opportunity. You get your line of 3, 4, 5 coming up in the 7th. As the best way to watch our content, Cody, is going to our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. We'll have the full game up, I'm sure, at some point in the next week or so. You got basketball up there. You got football, high school and collegiate for the Vulcans. And this is our last road trip, really, of the year, Cody. And couldn't have been in a better venue and a better opportune time to get our first baseball action in as well.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a more beautiful day. Here at Consol Energy Park, it was 68 degrees at first pitch. I'm sure it's gotten warmer than that, maybe up in the 70s. And we're starting to see California definitely needs to play a little bit of catch-up here. Down 2-0 going into the bottom of the 6th. And even though they may be down 2-0, they are very blessed to have one of the best looking ballparks that I have seen for a collegiate level in a while.
Absolutely, especially the old turf field. Something new to me, but this field is playing very well. It's been playing fast, but it's played well. Not a lot of errors we've seen, actually really none. We've seen a lot of great defensive plays as well.
Yeah, there have been no errors in this game by either team yet. Nosinski gets set to deliver the first pitch to Gasty. Or excuse me, not Gasty, that is Morales, I beg your pardon.
Morales was going around for the bunt. He did not go. They peel down to third base. It's ball one.
The 1-0 pitch is down in the dirt for ball two, and the count is 2-0 now.
And I like the approach Morales is taking right now. You're down 2 runs. It's not you're down 10 and you have to start swinging it for the fences. Play some small ball. Get on base. That's what's important to your team right now.
Yeah, getting on base is definitely very important for these Vulcans because they have the speed. They have the necessary speed to steal the bases or sneak in that extra bag if a ball sneaks over to the wall. And Morales looking to be the first guy on base in this inning, and he takes a strike. The count is now 3-1.
Morales has 6 steals on the year. You may even see him take another pitch right here. If it's not what he's looking for, you got to have a specific zone you want to swing at.
The 3-1 is going to be fouled back. The count is now full.
Right now, if you're Nishinsky, do you either come at Morales with the fastball or do you come with the curveball? There's only been one base runner past first base all game for the Vulcans.
And Morales gets the leadoff walk, able to show great patience against Nisinski, letting him pitch to him. He gets the base on balls to lead off the inning, and now we are going to see Mick Fennell step up to the plate.
Fennell has grounded out to second base both times at the plate. And right now, being a left-handed hitter, that kind of hurts them because if the Vulcans don't do hit and runs a lot, but if the runner goes, it's just a pickup back, and you ground it to second base, it kind of still allows for an easy double play instead of grounding it to shortstop.
Nisinski sets, throws over to first base. Morales is back sliding, back safely.
And right now, Mercyhurst's bullpen is empty. Fennell pulls back the bunt.
And he takes that pitch for a ball, so now the count is 1-0. And as you said, Zach, Mercyhurst's bullpen is empty. There's no one warming up in it, so
there is a man warming up in the California bullpen, and it's hard to tell exactly who. Cannot see the jersey number from this angle.
That pickoff attempt is unsuccessful. Nisinski definitely keeping an eye on Morales. He doesn't want to give California a free base here. Mercyhurst knows that California has the speed to steal bases. Nisinski sets, delivers. As a strike, the count is now 1-1 on Fennell.
And we have just gotten clarification from our little helper, I guess you could call him, Matthew Hagee, sitting right next to us. It is number 26 for California. We will get to that in a second.
The bunt laid down, trailing up the third base side. The sacrifice bunt moves Morales over to second base. Fennell is thrown out at first. So now the Vulcans have a runner at second base with 1 out.
And we are going to look up now. Number 26 for the Vulcans is Alex Ziegler, a redshirt freshman from Butler, PA. We're going to see him coming into the game, I would believe, unless Coach Conti decides I'll leave Taylor in there.
Nisinski sets, delivers. That pitch takes a bounce in the dirt. The count is 1-0 on John Orr.
And you're getting to the part of the lineup that the Vulcans want to have at the plate. Orr, then followed by Zarowski, your best hitter, and Marcus coming up, your best RBI guy.
The 1-0. It's taken on just outside for ball 2, and Nisinski falls behind John Orr, 2-0.
Nisinski having some trouble locating some pitches so far through the first 3 batters of this inning. He walked Morales, now down 2-0 to Orr.
John Orr showing patience, but he takes a called strike there. The count is 2-1 on John Orr. Once again, Morales is at second base. The tying run is at the plate for the Vulcans. The 2-1 from Nisinski. Swing and a miss by Orr, and then the count is now 2-2.
He swung at the off-speed pitch right there. It went down in the dirt. If he left it alone, it might have been a ball, but now down, it's 2-2 count with 1 out. Morales at second.
John Orr looking for a seeing eye single or anything to get lucky. That pitch gets grounded to first base. He'll keep it himself on the putout, but it does move Morales to third. So now the tying run's still at the plate, and the run that will cut the lead in half is just one base away from scoring.
And Zorowski, your best hitter, look at his stats on the year. In some situations, well, actually, you don't have that, but Zorowski, 368 on the year, 12 RBIs, 453 slugging, no double plays, 19 strikeouts though.
Zorowski takes the first pitch for a strike, and Nasinski is ahead of him in the count, 0-1.
And even if the Vulcans get one in this inning, it helps your cause going into the 7th.
They'll just be trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count is now 0-2.
And Zorowski right there pulled his head away from the ball as he swung at it, kind of opened up his shoulder too much and just kind of flailed the bat out there, not able to make contact.
Zorowski sets somewhat of an open stance. Nasinski's 0-2 pitch. It's a swing and a base hit over into left field, and that brings Morales home. California has cut the deficit in half. It is now 2-1 Mercyhurst.
And that's exactly what the Vulcans needed. Your best hitter coming through in the clutch. And now you have Marcus up. He has a home run on the year, 24 RBIs, 516 slugging. And Zorowski leads the team with 17 stolen bases. We're going to get a timeout, some strategy from Coach Conti now, as Zorowski comes from first and Marcus talking to him as well. See what is going on right now.
Well, there are 2 outs, so they're definitely not talking about the possibility of any kind of sacrifice.
My question is, do you send Zorowski, though, with 2 outs? What if you get caught? Then you leave the bat in the hands of Marcus, and, what if he connects on one? It could have made it a 2-run shot. Now, if he comes back up in the bottom of the 7th and gets a solo shot and ties it, then okay, but you cannot take the bat out of the man's hands right now, in my opinion.
We might see Conti playing it safe here, keeping Zorowski on first base, but you never know. The pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Zorowski makes it back, sliding into first base. Marcus at the dish for the Vulcans. Nasinski sets, delivers. It is taken outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0.
And Marcus, I'm sure he's waiting until a strike is called. You don't want to swing at the first pitch you see or the first strike you see. It may not be the perfect pitch to you.
The 1-0 will wait as the pickoff attempt goes back to first base, and Zorowski makes it back sliding. Mercyhurst leads the Vulcans 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and foul ball past the first base coach's box. He wanted that pitch, Zach, as the count is now 1-1.
Yeah, that might have been the one for Marcus in this at-bat. It was a little outside, and he kind of rolled over it. That's why he kind of pulled it off towards first base bag, out of range towards foul side.
The 1-1 is outside. The count is now 2-1.
That curve right there, or a slider, or a slurve, whatever kind of language you want to use to describe that pitch, it started on the outside and ended up down right at the plate, basically. And Marcus, he almost had in the mindset, I'm going to swing at that one because it's looping into the zone, but it dipped right at the last second.
Nasinski sets the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and way high fly ball over on the left side, but that is going to hook out of play. So the foul ball makes the count 2-2.
And if this count gets to 3-2, it might actually be an advantage for the Vulcans because 3-2, Zorowski is going to be running as soon as the pitcher lifts his leg, and a double might score that run if you're so fortuitous if you're the Vulcans.
Marcus gets set in the batter's box. Nasinski's 2-2 is up high and outside. Now the count is full, and you will see the carousel start as Zorowski is going to be leaping off from first after this pitch.
Even a single will probably get Zorowski to third base and bring up another hitter. That is Carson. He does have a single on the day, so anything could happen right now for the Vulcans. Try and get runners in some prime scoring position.
Throws back to first base. Good job by Zorowski not to leap on the first movement by the pitcher. Otherwise, they would have gotten him in the rundown after the pickoff.
Now, if a left-handed pitcher was out there, it'd be very difficult because first move, you can't always go because he could just as easily step over to first and pick you off if you're starting to run and just get you out at second base.
Time is called. We'll see a pitcher-catcher conference at the mound.
That is Marinelli going out to talk with his pitcher, Nishinsky, trying to figure out what do we want to go with. Do we want to go with the fastball, try and zoom it right by him? Do we want to go something off speed and risk the walk opportunity? Do we want to even pitch to him at all and just go to the next guy and not risk anything being left over the zone?
Derek Zarowski at first base. Marcus at the plate on a full count pitch, and there he goes. It is a base hit down the right field line. Zarowski is going to third. Coach Conti is sending him home. He's heading around third, and he'll make it standing into home plate. Marcus with a clutch RBI double ties the game at 2 for the Vulcans.
And that was a great at-bat from Marcus, and it looked like right there, I wasn't exactly able to tell what kind of pitch it was. I don't know if it was fastball or changeup, but he left it up in the zone. Marcus, nice smooth swing, able to drive it down the right field line, and then the right fielder, that is Tomasone, bobbled it over in the corner. We're going to have a meeting between the coach and the pitcher now. Don't know if he's going to be pulled out there. There's a guy warming up for Mercyhurst right now, but this is a brand new ball game, all tied at 2, and there's still only 2 outs. Carson right now, he's up, could easily bring Marcus home on a single if it's deep enough, because Coach Conti said second base is not scoring position here. That one where Marcus drove it down the right field line, that just was fortuitous because Zarowski was already rounding second by the time that ball landed in right field and went to the corner.
Yeah, and that ball was probably only a couple feet fair. It just barely managed to sneak over to the left side of the fair line, or the foul line, excuse me. And now Jasinski will stay in the game. Carson stepping up to the plate with David Marcus on second.
I think it's a smart move to leave Nishinsky in here. This is his mess to clean up. Now, if he gives up another run, maybe you take him out and try and stop anything else from happening.
First pitch is outside and a little low. The count is now 1-0 on Carson.
And Carson, maybe different from Marcus, try and look for something early because Nishinsky wants to get out of this inning. Maybe put a fastball over to the plate. Maybe Carson goes right after it.
That pitch is taken for ball 2, so now Nishinsky falls behind in the count to Carson. It is now 2-0.
And you also have to be wary if you're the Vulcans. The top of the lineup for the Lakers is coming up in the 7th.
Marcus takes his lead off of second base. The 2-0 pitch is up high and outside, 3-0. So now Carson has a little bit of wiggle room to work with, and as you were mentioning earlier, Zach, the bullpen for Mercyhurst is active. The 3-0 pitch, a 4-pitch walk. Carson draws the walk, and that keeps Marcus at second base, but now that sets up the force all around the field. So Mercyhurst has plenty of options to get the third out.
Yeah, you have to wonder, maybe Nishinsky was just pitching around Carson because Carson does have a single, has made some pretty good contact throughout the day. Gasty coming up, flown out to center field. Both times he's been up to the plate. A righty-righty matchup. This may favor Nishinsky a little bit better as he pitched around Carson.
His first pitch is taken for a called strike. Gasty thought about swinging at it, but he pulled his bat back. The count is 0-1.
Now, if you're Gasty, don't swing at anything you don't think you're going to be able to put into play and give yourself a good opportunity to score or even get on base.
The 0-1 grounded to the shortstop. 6-4 on the force putout. They get the guy at second. That was Carson. So he is out at second base, but the Vulcans tie the game back up. They get 2 runs off of multiple hits. Definitely a productive inning. Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of this game between the Mercyhurst Lakers and California Vulcans. 7th inning next on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
2, heading to the top of the 7th inning. Mercyhurst getting their last at-bats in regulation innings of baseball, as Justin Taylor does take the mound again. He, after a shaky 6th inning, Coach Conti decides to keep him in the game.
Yeah, and right now, I think because it's back even, that's why he left Taylor in there. Taylor's not done a bad job today. He's gotten out of a lot of jams, most notably the bases loaded, no outs back in the 4th. Only let up 2 runs, but really the top of the lineup's been what's bothered him the most, and that's what's coming up, starting with Pantano, who's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored.
Pantano gets set in the dish. The first pitch is going to be taken for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Top of the order due up for Mercyhurst as we see Pantano stepping up to the dish, taking 2-0 now. It is going to be Pantano, Siegel, and Cox.
Taylor has to be careful not to fall too far behind.
Taylor's 2-0 pitch is a called strike. It is now 2-1. Justin Taylor winds up, and here's the pitch. Almost hit Pantano again, but the pitch just barely misses him and is going to be a 3-1 count. Taylor sets and squares and delivers, and that pitch is a ground ball through the third base and shortstop gap for a base hit. And now Pantano lines up at first base, I beg your pardon. So it's a leadoff single. And he had one in the first inning, Zach.
Yeah, he did. We're going to see the leadoff runner back on base for the Lakers. We're going to see Siegel come up. I would be surprised if there's not a sacrifice opportunity here. If you are California, you want to get the job done where you want to get the out, but make sure it's not an error out.
Now that bunt is laid down, thrown on to first. The sacrifice is successful. It moves Pantano over to second base. Siegel able to get the sacrifice, and it moves Pantano to second.
We see Taylor, he's starting to wipe some sweat from his brow, shake off his arm a little bit. We can see he's starting to get a little tired out there right now. We're going to see Cox coming to the dish. He is 1 for 3. He's flown out to center, grounded out to short, and singled in his 3 trips. And a runner on second. You want to be careful here. You want to make sure if there's a ground ball to third base, if that guy's running, maybe you go after the guy at second base. Don't go to first base, because then Pantano can just run to third and make his way on over another 90 feet. But if he's not running, throw it over to first and maybe worry about Pantano after you got the assured out.
Getting the lead runner is always very important as Taylor gets set, delivers, and that pitch is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 on Brendan Cox. Pantano is on second base, Brendan Cox at the plate. The 0-1 swung on and fouled out of play over on the first base side, and Taylor finds himself ahead, 0-2.
And now Taylor, it's been a question really of what do you do all game in these pitch counts, because you're up 0-2. Do you go something off speed and maybe risk a wild pitch, move the runner up 90 feet, or do you go with the fastball, maybe high, try and get the runners or the batter to swing under it?
The 0-2 from Taylor, taken up high for ball 1, and the count is now 1-2.
And there's that high fastball I said he probably could do. The batter, Cox, not going after it, though. A very smart, keen eye there.
Justin Taylor sets, delivers, and the ball gets away, and there goes Pantano over to third base, moving him on up 1 base, and now the go-ahead run for Mercyhurst is just 1 base away.
And the infielders will have to play in now, because a ground ball gets Pantano home unless it is a ground ball right at the fielder. A sac fly could even do the job. The outfielders have come in just a slight little bit, I could see. They're playing very well off the line, though. It has to be a perfect throw from the outfield if you're going to get Pantano.
With how fast the ball travels in the outfield, who knows? As Taylor's next pitch is fouled back against the safety netting, the count remains 2-2.
I would expect another slider here, maybe on the outside part of the plate, get him to roll over it, go to third base, try and keep that runner there. Fennell can throw over to first and get the assured out.
The 2-2 pitch from Justin Taylor, taken up high, and the count is now full on Brendan Cox.
The walk really means nothing in this situation. The worst you could do is maybe set up a double play for yourself if that happens.
Taylor's full count pitch is going to be fouled away, and the count remains 2-2. Cox staying alive here in the batter's box.
A great job of staying alive at that. Just kind of threw the bat out there, knew he was out balanced, just threw the bat out and able to get contact and throw it over towards his dugout. Still a 3-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out.
Taylor sets and delivers. That pitch is also fouled away, so Cox really working Justin Taylor's pitch count right now. He's getting it up there and staying alive all at the same time.
And the wind is blowing from right field towards left field a little bit, right towards third base, so a sac fly might die a little bit out there if you go towards left field and give it a little bit easier for the Vulcans.
Another 3-2 pitch is swung on and right back at the pitcher. 1-3 on the putout, and that forces Patano to stay at third base.
And that's a very, very, I will say it again, very cautious out right there, because Taylor got it, looked over to third base, and Pantano was just kind of playing games with him. I'll shuffle my feet a little bit, see where you go. If you start running at me, I'll run home and make you get the rundown now, get the guy over to second at least. Goes to first, gets the out, brings up Papio, who is 2 for 2 on the day with a walk. He has an RBI as well, scored Pantano last time. This might be the most important at-bat for the Vulcans all game over that one where it's bases loaded, no outs, and you get the double play. This is the key situation for the Vulcans in this one if you're Justin Taylor.
We're seeing a conference at the mound now. Taylor just 1 out away from keeping this game tied. It is 2-2. Mercyhurst and California all tied up here in the top of the 7th.
Taylor is staying in there. Coach Conti showing the confidence he has in his pitcher to go out there and try and get this third out. Infield playing straight up, outfield playing straight up as well. Second base back just a little bit, shading up the middle.
The first pitch by Taylor is taken inside for ball 1, and it sneaks away from Yorgel, but Pantano stays at third base. Count is 1-0.
And Yorgel has to be a brick wall back there as a catcher. He cannot let anything past him at this point. No matter if it's in the dirt, well outside, he has to jump for a high fastball.
Papio gets set and waits for the 1-0 delivery. Goes, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Papio is has a walk and grounded into a fielder's choice and got a single in the 5th. The 1-1 pitch is fouled away, so now Taylor is finding himself ahead of the count, 1-2.
And if this were early in the ball game, I'd say be aware of the steal of home. But being the 7th inning, you don't want to risk anything right now. Leave the bat in the hands of who's really been your best hitter today. In a 1-2 count, back to again. What do you do here in this situation? We'll have to see.
Taylor sets the 1-2 pitch. Check, swing, fouled away. The count remains 1-2.
Papio able to stay alive there, just throwing the barrel out. And I was actually kind of riding up towards the face area, Papio. He threw the bat out there. If he didn't turn and he turned the other way, maybe it would have been a hit by a pitch and a different outcome there.
Taylor sets. Here's another 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Papio again staying alive, just like Brendan Cox did. He's making Taylor work, getting his pitch count up.
And Papio is on the fastball right now of Taylor. But honestly, do not go to an off speed because that's just going to speed the bat up of Papio and have another line drive. Keep going at him with the fastball.
Taylor sets the 1-2. Papio just holds the bat back and takes it for ball 2, and the count is now 2-2.
And that was a high fastball right there. Very tough to lay off of eye high. Those are the ones that you say, ooh, I get under this one, I might drive it very far, but very often you see swings and misses. I would expect another fastball here, maybe on the inside part of the plate.
Taylor sets the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball out of play. Once again, the count remains 2-2. Pantano remains at third base. He's itching to come home and give Mercyhurst the lead.
Taylor rubbing the ball up a little bit, trying to raise the seams, try and get a better grip on the fastball, trying to zoom it towards the plate. Maybe he's going to come with an off speed here too, get a better grip on it, get some more spin out of it.
Taylor sets the 2-2 pitch. Swing and once again fouled out of play. Papio really ranking up the pitch count now for Justin Taylor.
And I do not have the official pitch count of this at bat alone in front of me. Maybe someone in our production truck does. Our little correspondent Matthew Hagee trying to count up on his fingers right now. Total in the game, he's at about 125 to 130. That's a lot of pitches for any pitcher, even major league level. So we're about to get the 2-2.
Taylor sets. Pantano leads off of third. The 2-2 is fouled away, but it's closer to fair territory this time as it lands right in the middle of the first base coach's box.
And from first viewpoint, as that ball's in the air, it looked like Marcus might have had a beat on it, but it was just a little bit too shallow. Marcus having to play in a foul territory. We're going to see Yorgel go out and talk to his pitcher, get him a little bit of rest. He keeps going back and forth with Papio right now. It's really a mind game at this point. How am I going to get you to swing and miss or just ground out or fly out? It's a mind game at the plate. It's 0.8 seconds to decide what you're going to do. Taylor has all the time in the world to decide what he's going to do, but Papio seems to be figuring it out very quickly.
2-2 the count on Dan Papio, excuse me. Joe Pantano at third base takes his lead. Justin Taylor sets. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and way back into left field, and it drops and it goes to the wall. Mercyhurst will take the lead off this. Papio winds his way to second base, and now Mercyhurst takes the lead back once again. It is 3-2 as Pantano scores from third easily.
And right there, I have to give credit to Papio just wearing down Justin Taylor. Taylor looks like he is absolutely gassed out on the mound right now, throwing around 130 pitches like we said. Getting the double out of that, just driving over the left fielder. You have to give credit. Taylor is fighting all he could, but just wearing down, and it looks like he threw a fastball or a changeup there just a little too slow, and Papio able to sit back and pull it down the line.
Marinelli at the dish now, swings on the first pitch and it's grounded to the shortstop. Throw on over to first, and that is the third out of the top of the seventh inning. So now the Vulcans are down to their last 3 outs to get the lead back and come away with a walk-off win in this game.
And coming to bat for the Vulcans will be Yorgel, Mitko, and Morales. We'll see the replay, a long battle at the plate, able to get a little bit of a slower pitch, a slow fastball or a changeup, sit back, get on his back heels, pull it down the line over the left fielder. A great job of getting your weight back and able to do the good job. It looks like, cannot tell if we have a new pitcher or not. Hard to see the jersey number. It looks like we do. We'll get clarification of who in just a second. And that new pitcher is number 30 for Mercyhurst. That is Colin McKee, a sophomore out of Butler, PA, 6'3". You look at his stats right now. McKee on the year, 5.68 ERA. He's 0-1. He has 3 saves though, giving up 8 runs in 12 innings. So maybe this is the Vulcans' chance. A lot of closers, even in the major leagues we've seen this year, having a lot of troubles with their control this year, giving up a lot of runs.
So now Colin McKee will look to make the last 3 outs of the game. The Vulcans down to their last 3 chances. Due up will be Joe Yorgel, Chris Mitko, and Giovanni Morales. Morales was the one that got the first run scored on an RBI by Zarowski, who's also scored the second run. So that is where we stand right now. It is 3-2 going to the bottom of the 7th. And the bottom of the order due up for the Vulcans, but it could very easily creep its way up to the top. And it promises to be an exciting finish, so don't turn away from those televisions yet. There's still 3 more outs away.
And I quickly have the line for Dashinsky in the game. He faced 24 total batters, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And right now he is in line for the win if Mercyhurst can hang on here with McKee now on the mound.
Off the bottom of the 7th for the Vulcans, Number 28, Joe Yorgel.
Joe Yorgel, the catcher for the Vulcans, steps in, gets ready to take his first offerings from Colin McKee. McKee sets, winds up, and the pitch. Taken for a called strike. It is 0-1.
Yorgel hitting .212 on the year. Never a better time than now to come around on one, get a single out there, maybe a double. He's flown out both times to right and left.
McKee sets the 0-1 pitch. Taken called strike and is 0-2. Yorgel finds himself down in the count 0-2 very early on. Colin McKee sets the 0-2. Taken outside for ball one. The count is now 1-2.
And we got word from our director, Gary Smith. There might be a little bit of miscommunication between catcher and pitcher. Catcher has gone outside, pitchers have gone inside a couple times, so maybe McKee leaves one over the plate for Yorgel.
McKee sets the 1-2 swing and a miss. Joe Yorgel goes down swinging, and he has gone hitless in this game, and with this strikeout included. So now we're going to see Chris Mitko get his chance to get on base for the Vulcans.
Mitko 0 for 2, grounded out to the first baseman and struck out. And we actually have a pinch hitter. That is number 9 for California. That is Zach Schmidt, a senior outfielder from Moon Township, on the year hitting .095. He does have an RBI though. Maybe a guy can just get on base.
Schmidt gets set, the lefty takes the first pitch for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Coach Conti probably saw that Mitko didn't get a hit yet today, and plus the lefty-righty matchup is definitely much more favorable as he swings and misses at the 0-1 and gets the count to 0-2.
And Schmidt, although he only has a .095 average, he's getting on base at a .321 clip. It's a very good mark, especially for a guy with such a low average, so he has a lot of walks, probably to his credit.
Colin McKee gets set, the 0-2. Called strike 3. Schmidt goes down looking. That is McKee's second strikeout out of 2 batters.
And the catcher knew that immediately, threw it over to third base before the call was even made. That kind of would have been a very embarrassing moment if that was not a strike.
Giovanni Morales is the Vulcans' final hope. They're down to their final out here, down 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th.
He walked last time up.
McKee sets, and his first pitch is taken outside for ball 1. That is only the second ball that Colin McKee has thrown.
And McKee, very good control so far today. 2 strikeouts, like you said, so far. Maybe go for the trifecta and strike out the side to end the game.
The 1-0 pitch is taken on the inside corner for strike 1. Morales is faced with a 1-1 count. Morales is ready. McKee is ready. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a ground ball to shortstop. Throw on over to first, and he scoops it out from the ground. The putout goes 6-3, and your final from Consol Energy Park, 3-2 in favor of Mercyhurst. They hang on after the last 3 outs were made. Definitely a very close game here today.
Very close game. You have to give credit to the Vulcans fighting back in the 6th inning. The bottom of the lineup, though, that's where they had their struggles, not coming through at all today. No hits in batters 6 through 9. All the hits came from 1 to 5. This is the hit that caused the winning run to come across the score. Papio, an RBI double in the top of the 7th off of Taylor. Taylor will get the loss. Nashinsky with the win. McKee with the save after 1 inning of work, 2 strikeouts and no hits and no runs, of course. And Taylor did a good job today, but the Vulcans coming up without a win.
Well, your Game 1 final from Consol Energy Park, 3-2 in favor of Mercyhurst. The Vulcans will get a retry in Game 2, so stay tuned for that. Here on CUTV for Zach Lamar, my name's Cody Jeanette. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day for baseball here in Washington, PA.